pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God, please watch over us tonight as we handle the City of Boonville's business. Keep all of our citizens, our families, and our friends in your thoughts and prayers. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Andrew. Roll call.
Coward.
Here.
Harville.
Here.
Gilbert.
Here.
Venable.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Stock.
Here.
Young.
Yep, here.
And Meadows.
Here.
Hearing of citizens' comments. If you have something you want to comment about, you're welcome to come up and sign in. You've done this enough times, you probably could tell me what you're supposed to do.
I'm just come to every now and then to give you my 2 cents for it. I'm here tonight. My name's
Gotta identify yourself.
Tom Bosley, Ward 4. And I'm here to give you my opinion on my opposition to one-way street up there by the Catholic school on 7th Street. Excuse me. Catholic school's been there for I don't know how long, a lot longer than I've been here. And it's been a two-way street. And when you're putting it into a one-way, it's actually a traffic problem, looks to me like, and I picked my grandkids up there and my kids. In the afternoon, you have an hour probably or less of a traffic problem in that last 3 o'clock hour. 9 months out of the year, and a lot of days, less than 5 days a week. I know that street's narrow, but for several years they had it no right turn during the let out of the school kids. And that worked. I don't know why they want to make a one-way street. If you got a one-way street, if you're going to start making residential areas one-way streets, why don't you make 7th Street one-way all the way through? And if it's a car problem, park on one side. All of 7th Street is one side parking from Locust all the way out to Bingham. There's no two-side parking on that. If there's a problem with the fire truck getting through there, then I would say make it one side parking. And that's just my opinion. And I don't think that they need a full-time one-way street on 7th Street. Thank you. I'm going to leave now.
Oh, you are? Do we get to watch you leave? It's good to see you.
Hey y'all,
Hi.
how are you today?
Good.
Awesome.
And your name is?
My name is Janica Brown.
Jennifer, did you say?
Janica, J-A-N-
Janica. Okay.
J-A-N-N-A-K-A.
Thank you.
I know you guys are taking that vote on it today, on that 7th Street that gentleman was just also talking about. So I just thought I would remind you why it had been brought up in the first place, in case anybody had not been here or had forgotten. He is correct that during the school hours, you can't make that right-hand turn, so for that 45 minutes. But the other issue was that after-school events was preventing folks from being able to take a right-hand turn onto the block. And so that was kind of the main problem, is that you had to play chicken with people anytime the Catholic school had an event going on in the after-school hours, after and beyond the pickup. And also the people parking in front of driveways because they had nowhere else to be during that pickup time. That's been alleviated with this one-way. I haven't had a problem since you guys did this temporary thing. Not a single time getting on or off my block. It's been great. It's not 100% convenient for me either, because now I have to go the long way to get to work, and in snow that can be worrisome. But the pro of always being able to get home has far outweighed the few days of the year that I had to be like, I gotta go up and turn on spring now. And so that part's been super awesome. I understand some people haven't been happy, and I understand that. And if it doesn't go my way, it doesn't go my way. I at least had my way for temporarily. So I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to remind you guys that it was not just the pickup time. It was above and beyond the pickup times. It was the evening, trying to get in and off of that block properly so that you can park properly, and that the Catholic school themselves have been very happy. They have told your transportation committee that they thought it was much safer for the kids, and to my best knowledge, they are still very happy with it being one way. So, thank you.
Good, thank you. Good to have you back.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
So related to the let-out time, if you have to leave during that time, you end up having to wait for about 10 or 15 minutes just to get off the street because there's traffic on both sides and some that goes into the driveway, and it's absolutely impossible. The only other time that there's an issue is in the morning. It can be kind of tricky to get over there, get out, but there's no point. The problem with blocking driveways, still a problem. So, I think it's worsened the problem, personally.
Because you've got it on both sides.
What's that?
You've got it on the both sides.
Uh-huh, yep, they line up on both sides.
Right.
Then they, weave into the roundabout. You can't get through. You have to go the wrong way. I mean, I've done it a few times. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Whew. Gonna have a repeat?
Yeah, repeat, Ron, same thing.
Hi, Ron.
It has been one way at drop off and pick up for over 10 years. It's always going to be inconvenient, but weekends, evenings, and summertime, it's no need for one way. It's inconvenient for an hour or two a day, but like right now, it's no need for a one way. And like she said, the people they're blocking driveways still. They're sitting in their vehicles, but they're bumper to bumper, so it takes 4 vehicles to move before you can get in and out of your driveway. So that has not changed anything. I understand the safety of the kids, and everyone here, I hope, feel the same way, but for just a few minutes a day, I just don't see why I start it now. There's many other streets in town that probably could and need to be one way.
Good, thank you. Anybody else?
Are you allowed to make comments twice?
Say it again?
Are you allowed to make comments twice?
No, you just get your turn, I guess is the right way to say it. Wonder, is it okay to have 2 members from the same family?
Sure, why not? My name is Teresa Studley. I live in Ward 3, and I am opposed to the one-way 7th Street. I have lived in that area when I was younger off of Pendleton Avenue, and of course I went to school there for 9 years, and there really wasn't an issue. It was just depending on the courtesy of the drivers, dropping people off, picking them up, that kind of thing. And of course with my own children as well. Picking the kids up and dropping them off. You just try to be courteous, and you understand cars are trying to go both ways, and you just, you practice courteousness. That's part of being a driver. Also though, if I feel that if the council chooses to do this, I feel that you're setting a precedence, because there are several streets that is difficult to get through, that if you're gonna do this to a wide street, then you ought to do it to Spruce Street between 6th and 7th, Walnut Street between 4th and Main, Gamillick. I'm sure you've seen the traffic on Gamillick Street where the buses have to go through between 7th Street and Pendleton. And then of course, I'm sure you've seen Locust Street in the front during when kids get picked up at David Barton. You have the whole entire Locust Street backed up all the way through the intersection, and for you to drive down the street, you have to drive down the wrong side of the road to get up to the top of the hill. So I really do feel like that This is setting a precedence, and if you start this, it's just gonna be nonstop, a domino effect. I just think that the drivers need to practice courteousness and allowing people to get through. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's Mitch Medeiros. I live right there on 7th Street, 610 7th Street, and I just want to point out that 9 of the 10 houses on that portion of the street are within 100 yards of that intersection, and it's just inconvenient to have to go the long way around when you can go right to the intersection. My son leaves for school at the high school every morning, and now he has to go all the way around. Sometimes he's running late because he wakes up late. But,
What a surprise.
yes, it's just inconvenient, and I don't understand why that one portion of 7th Street is one way, when 9 out of the 10 houses on that section are, like I said, within 100 yards of the intersection. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? I really appreciate you all coming. It's important that citizens tell us, talk to us. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the April 12th, 2022 meeting. This was the sign die meeting, y'all. So when you read the minutes, you had to remember that. Okay? Any corrections or changes? They will stand as submitted. Consent items, none. Presentation of accounts and claims, it's on page 7.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on April 18th, 2022, the sum of $644,593.11. General Fund, $400,359.86. Sanitation, $26,992.01. CIP tax, $25,991.61. Waterworks, $60,041.18. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $94,265.47. Tourism, $12,010.78. Gaming, $24,462.25. Parks and Water, $469.95. Timber sales tax, $0.00. Economic Development Projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $644,593.11, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on April 18th, 2022, read for the second time this April 18th, 2022, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I make a motion that we pay these accounts.
Thank you, Susan. Second? Thank you, Albert. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Kate, I'm sorry, mister, is the $400,000 on the general fund more? It seems like this is a higher than typical.
I
Is that
think
true?
that, if I remember correctly, there's a loan payment that comes out right away in April.
Okay, yeah, and that's because the fiscal year begins, correct?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I figured it was something to do with the accounting. Okay, thanks.
Anybody else? Roll call.
Coward,
Yes.
Harville,
Here. Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Passes. Item 7, unfinished business. Second reading of Bill Number 2022-008, establishing a one-way street on 7th Street between Locust and East Spring Street.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, establishing a one-way traffic restriction going northbound on the 400, 500, and 600 blocks of 7th Street between Locust Street and East Spring Street, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Now, I see a couple of you looking for that on a second reading. You don't have a copy of it in the packet. Okay, is there a motion? Steve?
So moved. Motion.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have a second? It's hard to vote on it until we have a second. Thank you, Andrew. We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I really appreciate everyone's feedback on this. I as well have kids in the school, and I think this, as we went through this, I think we did a nice job of doing a trial run, see what it thought, get the public's input, and here's our decision time. So I really do appreciate everyone's input. I think this should be how the city would work, in my opinion. Everyone gets to provide their input, and then we take that and move forward.
Well said, Andrew. Thank you. Susan? Well, I was gonna go with Susan first.
I was just gonna ask a question. Is there an option to make no parking on one side that would allow traffic to flow a little bit easier? I guess I'm asking, are there other options to this? Because we have a lot of narrow streets, and to avoid, these clogs and traffic flow, I just think, consider all the options.
I think that's probably a recommendation that we give to the committee. You're correct. We have a lot of narrow streets that have not a lot of space on them. So that may be, if we decline this, well, we probably would want to turn it back so that they could look at some.
I can give you an example. The street into Harley Park, with Morgan Street being closed temporarily, God willing. There is so much traffic trying to come into Harley Park. The games are starting now.
Right.
Oh my God, the traffic and the fear of a little kid running between a car and running out. And the city very kindly put up a no parking along one side, and it's made a big difference. Although some people are still trying to park, but on that side, it's made a difference.
But the difference in visibility is, I hadn't anticipated that, Susan. You're right. That's a big change. Si?
Yeah, I walked from Spring down to Locust today and hit every single house. Of the 7 people that answered the door, there was only 1 that was for it. 6 people were against it. Obviously, the school was not in session today because of Easter, but I did talk to a crosswalk guard that mans the Locust Street, that 7th. He is for it during the hours from 3 to 5. And while I was down there, I was there for maybe an hour. I saw 2 cars go the wrong way while I was there. And it's posted one way now without times. So I get the point that we're trying to make as far as training people to do a one way at all times. But I know that everybody on that street, the majority, 95%, do not want this.
Thank you. Steve, did you had a hand?
Yeah, I think when we looked at it, I think what made everybody kind of vote for it in the committee, it was safer for the kids. And, going an extra couple blocks, if it makes it safe for the kids, I think it's good.
The safer for the kids during the time period, or safer for the kids for full-time?
I think full-time, just so every time they come out a door or they're going up that street, they know it's a one-way street.
Good.
I mean, if they're used to coming out there at school and they're riding bikes down there, someday and they're not used to it being a one-way, when that car's coming from the other way, they might not be ready for it.
Okay.
So,
Good
just
point.
the kids.
That was really a question I have. Is it a safety issue? Is it just a matter of convenience and getting around and so forth? But we're making this recommendation because of safety? Is that what I hear, Steve, from you?
I think they thought it would be safer for the kids if it was one way all the time.
Do you know if we've had any close calls out there? If so, would a one-way street avoided that?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know,
was
Randy,
never hit. So.
Do you have any?
No close calls that you...
That's a pretty fast kid.
The other question I would have, don't we normally, or do we normally do a, I don't know, that lay the strip down and get a traffic count? Is there heavy traffic on 7th Street? Do we normally do a count?
There are certain places where MoDOT does traffic counts for us, so they do them twice a year. And they have to be on a sort of certain level of an arterial. I know we've done them on Locust Street. I'm not sure if 7th Street qualifies. I do know that if that's something that you guys were interested in, Mid-Missouri Regional Planning Commission also has the strips that do the traffic counts, and we can request to borrow those if that's something you would want.
Well, I was just curious if we recently had a count on that.
I
My
don't-
observation is that it's not a heavy traveled street, but I may be wrong.
It's crowded once a day, Monday through Friday. Good point.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? Roll call.
Coward,
No.
Harville,
No.
Hilbert,
No.
Venable,
No.
Turner,
No.
Stock,
No.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows.
God. I'm gonna say no with the hope that we could come up with a better option. That's solves.
Is that your committee?
Yes.
Let's get them to talk some more. Okay? All right?
Yes.
And Steve may want to be there, so let him know.
Well, I'm there anyway.
I know. He needs to let you know though, when.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. Good work, y'all. Good work, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate that you took the time to come and help us learn. Item 8, new business. First reading of bill number 2022-010 for site plan approval for Overstreet development. It's on pages 8 through 13.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the final site plan for Overstreet development at 213 East Ashley Road, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Item 9, reports of standing committees. We have historic preservation on page 14. Any questions or comments?
I just want to mention, some of the items mentioned in this report here, I think are really good for Boonville, and I hope we can really kick this thing off. I think there's a real need for, especially on Main Street, and cleaning that up a little bit, so hopefully this will go.
Good comment. Thank you. Anybody else? Police board, there was not enough folk. Planning and zoning, page 16 through 18.
I was unable to attend, but the minutes are in the record.
You were disloyal to us. Had to take care of business, didn't you? Yeah. Questions or comments? None? Reports of city officials, city administrator.
Just a couple things. So first, I want to remind everyone that bulk pickup starts next Monday. So that includes if you don't want the trash can that you previously had, you can leave it out and put a sign on or tape it that asks them to take that trash can, and they will. This is the unlimited bulk pickup, so this is the traditional spring cleanup. So barring paint, hazardous materials and things that you've never been able to put out there. Second is we're coming around to filling our citizen committees, and so if there is anyone listening that is interested in participating, we always need more good members, and if you guys as council people know of anyone, please let us know. It can be very difficult to find members. And then the last thing is just a question for council. For the past couple of meetings, we've had a kind of several sort of funny things with Robert's Rules of Order. And if you are interested or would want, we can set up kind of like a primer on Robert's Rules of Order. So you know ways of conducting business. Should you want, just as an example, it doesn't matter how it occurs, but you can have something just die for a lack of a motion. So when we read the second reading on this one-way ordinance, nobody could have made a motion, and that would have also been a part of it. So you can table it. There's lots of little things, and we have some cheat sheets. So if that's something of interest of you guys, I'll kind of work with Doug and maybe someone else to try to do a Robert's Rules training and give you guys a little primer. So just let me know.
Any answer?
Sure.
For me.
I like to be included on that.
Can't hear you.
I like to be included on that.
I want to be included too.
I don't like rules.
Okay,
I guess being a new guy, please include me.
Yeah, we'll probably just do it in like a council meeting, and it'll be 15 or 20 minutes, so not long.
is that a promise?
Make a motion on that?
Yeah, there we go.
So, Kate, why couldn't we just do like an off-site meeting of the council to discuss Robert's Rules, so we can all, like, one day, take a couple hours and go down to the Isle Capri and rent a room or something?
We can do that. I mean, we've certainly done workshops, all day workshops. It's been a long time. I don't even know if were you on council maybe, or were we still on IDA when we did Blackwater?
That was,
It was a long time ago.
that was a long time. It wasn't, no, I wasn't
And
on
we
council.
can do that. We can also certainly do anything in a work session. So if it's easier, I just try to accommodate people's working schedules. I know it's hard for some people to get here. So we sometimes just put it in a meeting too, but we can do whatever.
Like a Saturday afternoon or something, we can all sit down for a couple of hours.
How about
Saturday morning or something.
I'll pull you guys for a couple options when we get there. But yeah, we can definitely do, we can do a meeting at any time, and it would just be similar to these meetings. If we were to even say have a Saturday workshop from 2 to 4, that's still a public meeting and it would still be posted so anyone can attend.
Good question. Done? Mm-hmm. Okay, I have two things. Did everybody take a look at the back sheet? Okay, all right. So it starts with 2. What's the next number? The total for the last month. 276.
276,620.
620. Let's remember those folks. They send us those checks. That's pretty cool. You know?
So I was looking at it, is their busiest day like over the weekend, like Fridays and Saturdays for Capri?
I've tried several times to ask them to give us that flow, and when they did, it didn't make any sense to me, so I stopped asking.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, they got so many specials that I think that just it fiddles with the flow, and it's not traditional. At least for me, it's not traditional. Number 2. I don't know how many have gotten the phone calls or have gotten emails on the trash cans. I have, and I've passed them all on to Jeff. And I want to say to Jeff, thank you. He's handled them well. He's handled them correctly, right to the rules that we set up. And the customers got their answers. So they're slowing down though, aren't they? Yep. We even have customers that decide to put their garbage on a different street than they live on.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. City clerk?
Nothing.
Nothing. Any miscellaneous?
Can we pass it up?
There you go.
To follow up, Mr. Mayor, on your comment about these trash, one of the things that we had talked about when we were doing the Q&A here a couple of weeks ago, that we may try to get that out to residents. And I don't know, did we take the offer up on doing that, or can we still do that? Because I think that answers a lot of questions, if we could get that out to them some way.
Well, it's a public document because we have it.
It's also made the round, I mean, we haven't like mailed it to every resident.
Or on the internet or something.
It's on the it's on the website,
It
and
is?
also KWRT and the I think Susan, if I saw you shared it on the 411 for 660. So I know it's definitely, and Teresa has been kind of tracking the website statistics since we've been putting those out, and there's been a noticeable spike on that sanitation page, so we know people are looking at it.
Yeah, you're right, that was a heck of a document.
Yeah, it really did answer a lot of the questions that I'm getting, and I want to be able to make a reference, so I'll know where to direct now.
Good.
So thanks. Just one other question. I from time to time talked about this unfinished business, and I guess I've lost that argument, but I'm wondering about the Gigi on the grant. I think a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, you had mentioned that I believe you said Cole County got theirs, and we were 2 weeks late, so maybe we've gotten theirs. Can you give an update or status on that? Do you know?
On the Kemper, on the YMCA one?
Yes, the two.
We did not, all the money was used up before ours got processed, so. It
Oh,
was
so-
a first come, first served basis. We knew that going in, and we had no guarantees when we were applying it. Our application looked good, and I think Kate is probably going to resubmit down the road for another funding opportunity. So all is not lost, but the money was gone by the time,
Okay,
unfortunately.
yeah. Great, okay, thank you very much.
Ma'am, thank you. Barry?
Mr. Mayor, we had a housing authority meeting Wednesday, and we brought up a topic on the sidewalk streets down there by 11th Street and High Street, that there is no sidewalks, and for safety, the kids are standing out in the middle of the street. Do we still do that sidewalk thing, like they pay so much and we pay so much?
We do it for sidewalk repair. We've never done it really for sidewalk construction.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
New construction. Yeah, for new, like.
There's no sidewalks down there.
Like, if you have a sidewalk in front of your house and it's cracked and then you can apply for it's the 90-10 program, and we pay 90 and you will pay 10, but we have not done it for where there is no sidewalk.
Okay, I was just wondering, because I was down there on the Water Street, and I came up Bell Street Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was no sidewalks down there in that alleyway right now. I just wonder if we could construct some sidewalks down there so the kids don't have to be standing out in the middle of the road when they try to catch the bus for safety reasons.
We'd have to look at the right-of-way and see what we have down there. That might be part of the, offhand, I'm not sure what our right-of-way is.
Okay. So could you get back with us?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Okay, anything else? Yes, Si.
I had one miscellaneous, and I'm sorry for rehashing. I saw it in a couple of meetings ago, but I was wondering where we were. A lady had emailed us about Morgan Street, and I was wondering what the status was for the fix on her street.
If it's the West Morgan Street up there, as Susan said, the road is still not there.
Right.
Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating. We're to a point where we need to compact the dirt, so it needs to be just the right moisture content, and every time it rains, it sets us back, and its location is slow to dry out. So we have been working with her individually, and Jeff is providing her with a weekly update, just like, sorry, the weather's not cooperating, so we're still not out there. That's really where we are. We're just waiting for weather to cooperate, so we need no rain for a while.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fact. I talked to Nico, the engineers. Out of the last 90 days, 82 of them have been rain days. So that speaks for itself. 82 out of 90 rain days.
Okay, yeah, I just really wanted to make sure we had progress and maybe keep that open as an open business item, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so like I said, Jeff's kind of been reaching out with the family one-on-one now, and we've dealt with some of their other issues. I think we tried to get some gravel down there to better, so we're trying to do as much as we can. It's just unfortunately an inconvenience that we'll do everything we can, but there's only so far, so.
Gotcha.
So could we keep that like an unfinished business to get a report on it every 2 weeks, or where we stand on it?
How about I tell you when we get to start working again?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell you, but just like Jeff said, oftentimes it might just be that we're rained out, so, but we'll provide it. We'll give it under, we can add it under my bullet item.
Who's got it?
Motion to adjourn.
Who's got it? So I got a motion and a second. Everybody vote by standing up and leaving. Thanks y'all for being here.
Ned, do you want to report real quick on